Hello, welcome to Lilith in Aquarius, my dear friends. I'm getting there. I'm almost like Aquarius and Pisces left, and I will have done the full gamut of the Lilith placements. So this is for Lilith in Aquarius. Also, those of you who your Lilith is not in Aquarius, but if she sits in the 11th house, there are links below to figure out what your Lilith sign, what Lilith is sitting in, which zodiac sign for you. If you don't know, like if you're an Aquarius sun and you've come to this reading out of curiosity, think, what is this? So yeah, Lilith is in different zodiac signs. So like I said, the link is at the bottom of the description. Actually, no, kind of like middle of the description in this video. And then to figure out the house placement, so let's say you go and you look, and Lilith is, well, for sake of argument, here we are, Lilith in Aquarius. And let's say your Aquarius, though, in your regular natal chart, which I have a link below for that as well, is sitting in the 5th house or something like that. So then you could go and see that one. So this is for those of you who have Lilith in Aquarius and Lilith in the 11th house. And something interesting happened when I put the cards down. So I have my little card holder and I put out what I'm reading so I can look at it and focus on it. And this is the first time in the Lilith readings that the sign sat in front of Lilith. She's always been in front. And it went down like that. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And now, because I do my research before I come into these, because I really don't know much about these placements until I start doing my own research. I am going to pull cards out, so we are going to get into that. These readings tend to be a little bit longer because I'm going to go into all my my study material about Lilith in Aquarius and Lilith in the 11th house. But as I was saying, with what I was studying, it's extremely important in this sign that you kind of embrace your peculiarities, your eccentricity, and find where you feel comfortable and where it feels like you can fit in. And when I say fit in with this sign, I don't mean compromising in any way. I mean fitting in where you don't feel like people are being jealous towards you or betraying you, or think you're just a freak and want to attack you for it. So, like it's like really finding your tribe where you can be. I think that's important because if you don't, you could end up quite a loner. You could. And I mean, I don't know how much anyone who is an extreme loner, like I mean a full-on hermit, really wants to be. I think there's probably a few people who may naturally want to be that. And I would guess that there's probably something very unique in their brain, because human beings are social animals and we're all on that on a different scale, and Lilith is on a scale too. So I should say that as well as I'm coming into this reading, because I'm going to talk about some stuff and it's all on a scale because everybody's different, and your entire astrological chart brings balance and imbalance to all of the things we're going to talk about with Lilith. So that's why it's not always like exactly what I'm telling you at that level when I do Lilith. Some people it is, and some people it's like not at all. But most people, it's kind of like, yeah, I see how that plays out in my life. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Now I see that in myself, and now I get it, and now I can embrace it. That's the most important part, is about embracing these things and recognizing them on a conscious level, because once we're consciously aware of why we react the way we do in situations or to people or to groups, or why we feel certain ways, it can help us work through them and find healthy ways of navigating life for ourselves. So, where am I going with this? I'm trying to get to the reading. I'm trying to get to the research. Yeah. So, oh yeah, the hermit. So, because it's really funny because I would classify myself as a bit of an introvert. And I was talking to a friend about that on the phone the other day, and she said, "You're not an introvert." I said, "No, I am." She was like, "I only want to talk to you for a bit, and then you won't see me for a while." And she said, no, but you communicate really well. Like, you can sit and have a conversation. Yeah, I can do that. But so, like, it's on a scale, right? And I think there's probably a lot of people that are more into the spiritual community, more that are empathic, have a tendency to have some sort of introvert aspect to themselves. But it is usually still, like, I think introverts can feel lonely, or they can feel like shut out from society or not fitting into groups. That's big here. It really is. It's big in this placement. So we're going to get started to talk about it. Oh, yeah, this was interesting. This came up. Now, this is not repeated, what I'm about to say, because I look at all sorts of different reading material online in these, and I kind of put them all together, and I find the points that often like come up the most often, but they're worded a little bit differently. But then I will also like put in something that I don't find in any of the other ones. I think that's interesting, because that probably, and I can actually, yeah. Anyways, so let's just say it. Okay. Issues with letting go. Find ending friendships and relationships is admitting defeat. Not comfortable admitting you are wrong, especially when it comes to judging character. This is not an emotional holding on, but an intellectual holding on. I thought that was an interesting statement, and it didn't come up in any of the other It came up on one article that I read about. So we're talking about Lilith and Aquarius right now. I do want to say too, because sometimes the house placement and the zodiac sign, they can be, they can have a bit of a difference in them. I'm going to say if you're here for the 11th house, and if you're here for Aquarius and not the 11th house, both of these can apply. It is one of those situations where they are both strongly reflecting each other. So you can definitely listen to all aspects. Now, the issues with letting go, though, I think are because, I think if that surfaces for you, because you really have a natural tendency to feel like you need freedom. You can't be feeling stifled by connections. So it's not that. Like, this is the key to look at here. It's more of an intellectual letting go of recognizing. It's not really defeat, though. See, that's the funny thing. Because when I read that, I thought to myself, well, there's been a lot of friendships and relationships I've had to walk away from in life. And I don't necessarily have ever felt defeated in admitting that I was wrong in judging a person's character. Like, I would look at that and go, oh, I'm gonna write that in my little book of character recognition. Like, just like sort of chalking it up. But it doesn't seem like it was at least stated that you don't really see it like that. It almost feels like defeat. How could this person have tricked me like that? Or how could I have not seen? See, it's up here. It's not so much of an emotional thing. So you could end up hanging on to relationships and friendships that are like not doing well. Yeah, write it in your little book of character development and things to watch for in other people. So, okay, now everything else after that is kind of different from that. This is an extremely independent placement that detests restrictions in any way. You often feel like the stranger, the person on the outside looking in. Yet there is a craving to belong. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know, like a real full-on introvert hermit. I'm out of society. I've got my log cabin in the woods. I talk about that all the time too, but I need a town nearby. Go see people. Like, this person won't have a town nearby. What I'm talking about. But it doesn't really... I don't think you guys are that extreme, but again, it's all on a scale here. Because you do want to, I think most people, most human beings want to feel like they belong, like they have some sort of connection. Your soul can feel locked up. As a child, many may have in some way been different and been the oddball in the group that didn't fit in, right? Like, so I get this vision of a kid that's been off at summer vacation. And I'm only seeing this because not affected by the group, right? So away from the group, and I'm just picking summer vacation because that's a good example of how that could happen. Away from the group, and then, it's kind of developing and feeling comfortable to wear some cool, funky little outfits. And there's a girl. I don't know, she must be grade 7 now. She is so cute. And she was in my son's class. She's a year older than him. And they were in a split class together. And she was bullied horribly because she would come in with like these cute little, what do you call those? Headbands with like, bunny ears. And then she would wear like just these really, she had such a sense of incredible eclectic style. Like these almost like these dresses from the 1960s, like these puffy dresses with all these rainbows of color. Like she had flash and she had style, but she was also a very gentle and sensitive little soul. And boy, did she get bullied by some bitches. I tell you, I used to get so mad at that. Like, because the people bullying her had no character. Like, you're so boring. And that's what you are. So you're not the boring one. You're the one that I feel like would feel comfortable finding a new style or whatever, and in an atmosphere where you kind of are accepted, at least maybe with close families and friends. And then you go into the group, because that's what we're talking about here. The group. It shows up big, especially in the 11th house is where this happens for you. So that would, like, as a child, and with Lilith, I've never done a Lilith reading yet. And all of these zodiacs where things don't start in childhood with Lilith. Lilith has a lot to do with childhood trauma, and also like your expression with people, including like a lot of sexuality that comes out in this as well. But yeah, just being like the oddball. But I don't know. I think anyone who has a broader perspective on life, and particularly seeing that in a child, saying, you know, if you can hang on to that, you've got something about you that other people don't have, and that's going to make you move forward. Like, yeah, right? I mean, you can have a whole bunch of people come to you with an interview, and they've all got the same qualifications, and they all look the same. It's like, well, how do you define who you're going to pick? Pick the person with personality. Pick the person who's brave enough to be a little bit different, and hope that other people can, you know, embrace that too. So I love this Aquarius. Lilith, my North Node is in Aquarius, so I can relate to like this on some level for you. Well, I hope I can relate to most of you guys on many levels. I try my bestest. So yeah, that's definitely, you may have been adopted, or have something very unusual about your genetic heritage, right? Like, so, I mean, and it depends on where you are. Like, your genetic heritage may not be unusual where your genetic heritage came from. But if you're adopted, or in foster homes, or just like your family moved to another continent or country, like your genetic heritage, there could be like something really unusually mixed about your genetic heritage, which is not very common, or wasn't in the past. I think that like it's becoming more and more common. There's one genetic heritage that's coming to mind here, which like growing up as a kid seemed really, really rare, which was people of like an Asian descent, like Japanese or Chinese or Korean, and then someone from more of an African descent with black skin. Like that was very rare. So like you could be kind of like someone like that, where it's not that common compared to some other racial mixes or heritage genetics. So yeah. Oh yeah, so sexually you may be into unusual fetishes or relationships. I don't know what that means. It's on a scale again. I don't judge. As long as you're happy and everyone's consenting, and at the legal age. Often a very promiscuous placement that finds freedom in sex, but don't feel at all comfortable in a traditional relationship. Again, it's on a scale. You could have all sorts of other placements inside you, astrological placements of you that, you know, like it could be saying, no, Cindy, I'm happily married and I'm feeling really comfortable with that. But I'll bet you your partner allows you some sense of freedom on some level, because that seems to be really, really important for this placement. So marriage is not a very easy concept for this placement. Long-term commitment can be, but you need a partner who will allow you to feel very free. And what that means to you, you know, there's a few thousand people watching this, hopefully. So that can mean different things for everybody, right? Like maybe that has to mean an open relationship. Maybe you're not happy with just one partner in a committed relationship, one sexual partner. Or maybe that means, you know what, I just need to go on vacation with my girlfriends or my guy friends or whatever, and you trust me, or I don't know, like you just need some sort of sense of freedom. And again, that's on a very different level. You're not expected to have to pick up your cell phone like 5 minutes after it's been ringing or you received a text message. Like nobody's going to worry if, you know, you don't get back to them until you finally make your way home that day. Don't make people worry though. See me, I'm a bit of a worry wart. I can like go with the freedom, but if I haven't heard from you 24 hours, I'd be freaking out and calling the cops. I'm dead, something's happened. Okay, this placement is usually this placement is usually shorter. What? No, this placement is usually shorter. Let me finish my sentence here and see where this is going. This placement is usually shorter, but very electrical encounters. Okay, the encounters. Well, maybe you are shorter. That didn't really come up anywhere. But so your encounters with people can often be very electric. And so there, I feel like really exciting, like boom, instant spark, a lot of dynamic energy. This is, you know, Aquarius is air energy too. So there's a lot of mind involved in this. Like you could have great banter and communication with someone. You could be, oh, how do I'm gonna say this right? Sapiosexual, is that the right way to say that? A sapiosexual where like you're just turned on by the mind. Like it could be stuff like that for you. And it could be really quick and passionate. And then that's it, I gotta go. You know, like that can be, and whether that comes into something sexual or just like a really exciting conversation that you experience with someone, but then that's where that's at the level it goes to, and I don't really want to know you beyond that, and I don't want you to know me beyond that. You know, you could be like that. Oh yeah, like this. So representing and living your authentic self is the true quest for this placement. You're going to be eccentric on some level, and not everyone will like or get it, but it's you. And I'll tell you, the world needs that. And we're moving into the dawn of Aquarius. Well, we're in the dawn of Aquarius. We're moving into Aquarius. Like 100 years or so. So kind of like on some level, you know, I think anyone that has Aquarian energy in a significant placement, like right now, you are part of the dawn of Aquarius. Like you're bringing in a whole new process of thinking and being and acceptance. So yeah, I think about like, it's funny how I do these placements and someone in my life at some point will come to mind as kind of like an archetype example. And I really do that girl, she's so sweet and really, I would say eccentric. And honestly, just seeing the people that like bullied her, I just thought like, you yourself or something. Yeah, I put a lot of duct tape on my mouth when I go to this goal. Okay, so Lilith in the 11th house. This is the real outcast placement. Often loners, very different from others in your appearance, views, and or hobbies. You see how that's kind of echoing in the aqua? Like Lilith and Aqua? So, yeah, it can be the outcast, but I think the outcasts need to find each other because the world is pretty boring when it's all vanilla. So, yeah, you may look different. Like, you may just naturally look different. And that kind of comes down to, doesn't it? Like, it talks about genetic heritage. Like, even your genetic heritage, if it's quite different from the sort of genetic heritage that you're living around, you could just physically look different without even trying. Like you could have, like maybe you got like strawberry blonde hair, white as white skin, full of freckles, and your parents moved to Japan. Which is like, you just stick out like a sore thumb. Everyone else there has naturally black, straight hair, a bit of a mocha or beigeish complexion. And you're like, whoa, like, right, like you can be big time different without even trying. So, but then I think sometimes you might try with what you want to wear, things that you're interested in, hobbies that you have. Your friends are often also seen as weird and outcasts, but I did say that's probably the best group to find. Like, that's a real quest here, is finding people that are going to accept you for being eccentric. And you know what? Don't compare yourselves. Don't compare your success in life to how many friends you have. I would say so. I would say that's probably something to think about in this placement, because it's not definitely with this placement how many you have, but the quality of what you have for sure. You may deal with a lot of friends and acquaintances. What did I write? My acquaintances who do not have your best interests at heart. But again, mostly because you are so different and have very different needs and wants, and they don't get that. Because you're different. So you really need to embrace that and understand it for yourself. Because again, when I talked earlier in this video about like being consciously aware of these aspects of us, and how to allow ourselves to move forward in a really healthy and happy way. And a happy way is, for you, maybe just not having a lot of friends around you. Now, see, that's where I come back to finding it so interesting. Like, the first thing that I said here, issues with letting go. Find ending friendships and relationships is admitting defeat. So your own mind can hold you back here to finding your own success in friendship and happiness. There's a lot of friendship that's talked about in this. I mean, this can also come through. It can come through in romantic partners, but I don't think it does as strongly. Especially Aquarius, like it's a lot about like group, society. Because you can find that partner that thinks your quirkiness is absolutely fantastic. And it could be someone who, like, you know, wears a three-piece suit to work and deals with really mundane things, and you're kind of their breath of fresh air. So you don't want to necessarily be judgmental either of other people that aren't quirky and unusual, because you can have really good one-on-one relationships with people if you find the right people that really appreciate you for who you are. This is like really life in general, but it's more magnified for you. Okay, betrayal, rejection, and jealousy can be common in the realm of friends for this placement. Yeah, you know, and I think, see, yeah. That totally happened with that girl that I would see who was in my son's class a few years ago. And they were so jealous of her, you know, because she really, I mean, she had the balls, the ovaries to dress the way she wanted to and just express it and feel really happy and free about it. But a lot of people do get jealous when you seem to have more ability to express yourself in an unusual way. You're not afraid to stand out. And that's kind of really a sign of inner strength if you're doing that. So, you know, just be aware that not everyone is going to react in a positive way towards you, but they're projecting. Over the years, regular betrayal may cause you to have fewer and fewer friends, and this lack of network can hinder your growth. So that's, you know, where you could become the hermit in the cabin, miles and miles away from anybody. And networking can be important. Well, it is. It is kind of important in everything because we are a social species. You can have great one-on-one relationships. Yeah, and I just touched on that in this placement. But it is generally the group settings where these issues arise. And that, I have kind of talked about that. Learning to accept yourself and be emotionally detached from other people's opinions of you is the key to success here. I'm going to say that again. Learning to accept yourself and be emotionally detached from other people's opinions of you. That's your key to success here. Say it, honey. You write that on a piece of paper and put it on your dashboard of your car and put it on the mirror of your bathroom. You look at that over and over and over again. You are a strong and unusual personality. Finding where you can be authentic without judgment is a healthy need in this place. There you go. I'm right there to cheer you on. You know, be those funky, weird people. Who was it? It was the Lilith and Capricorn that I did in the extended. I think Matthew, one of my subscribers, he put all of these songs that, you know, kind of to him represented the energy. I don't know if he was just being specific with Lilith and Capricorn, but I kind of felt like it's almost like Lilith in general. But one of them was by Lady Gaga, Born This Way. But this is really for you. For Lilith and Aquarius, yeah, that Lady Gaga song, Born This Way, for sure. And embrace it, baby. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whatever you gotta do. Don't let them drag you down. Okay. So, so I'm using my Return to Spirit deck, Oracle deck, which is unusual. I haven't used it for any of the Lilith readings. She tends to like the archetype deck. But something felt very this just is a different kind of energy. Whenever I'm in Aquarius, it's always very different, very cosmic. Kind of cool. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to start with Return of Spirit Oracle deck. And then if you, excuse me, haven't been to any of my Lilith readings, or haven't heard me mention it, she's got me using 2 tarot decks. It's my deck, Heaven and Earth tarot deck and Murder of Crows deck. I'll be so glad when I'm done this, Lilith, so I can separate these again because I missed these decks. And then if I need to clarify anything, I'm going to go into my Everyday Witches Teeny Tiny Tarot. So now I just open it up and see what the heck Lilith wants to talk to you about. There will be an extended. So if you are drawn to that, the link to the extended is at the top of the description within this video. And again, with those extendeds, I leave it open to Lilith for the most part. So we, you know, it's whatever she wants to do. Sometimes she wants to get more in depth with cards I've already pulled out. More often than not, though, it is just all new decks and deeper information. So let's get started here. Lilith in Aquarius, the Aqua Baby energy, and 11th house. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, and I didn't write it down, but I thought, oh, I'll remember this, is Lilith in the 11th house. There can be a real struggle with allowing the universe to guide you on your path and your journey in life. And I think a bit of that is that headspace that I talked about earlier on about defeat, not letting things defeat you, not wanting to let go. I made this decision. I know what I'm doing. Can be a little bit of a strong head in that. Because too, with like, it's very cosmic with Aquarius, with 11th house, and how that kind of your cosmic path. So you can struggle with kind of releasing to that sometimes. Yeah, I wanted to talk, I forgot to say that. So there we go, I said it. With the, particularly the 11th house. Okay, Lilith, what do you want to talk to these fine folks about? Assistance. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to actually read the book. Assistance. I can see how this sign would find it difficult to ask for assistance because there's trust issues here. Like gifted. Ooh. Oh, gifted is at the bottom. This reminds me of like energy kind of bubbling up. Like something bubbling up here for you. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so now I'm getting like some information more about like why you were, okay, let's like actually think about like Lady Gaga. She's like very unusual and very controversial to many people. But you know, one moment she can be controversial to one group of people, and another moment they could be thinking, oh no, I like what she's doing now. But then a whole nother group that like what she was doing a few minutes ago is now like, oh, she's weird. I don't like her. She's corrupt, or, you know, she's just pushing it too far. That energy. Okay. There's gifts behind you. I'm really getting like with these 2 cards, you've got some sort of gifts. Like there's a reason that you're unusual. There's often like something that needs to stand out. If every single person on the planet was just like always on this level and always black, gray, and white, it was never anything unusual. We always need like the little bleep, because that's what the chaos is. And to me, chaos is evolution. So without bleep, we just never move. It's just, what the heck? We're never getting better. We're never striving. Sometimes bleeps don't go so well, and they don't reproduce, they don't become anything. A lot of times that can happen. But, you know, sometimes there's a really special gift behind it. And so there may be something here about either opening up to where the universe wants to guide you. Isn't that funny how I just said that last minute before we got in here? Assistance. Oh, beer. Oh, the book is right there. Isn't that great? So wonderful. Oh, yeah. Cheryl Lee Harnish. Another Canadian girl. She's got a channel as well if you want to go check her out. I haven't stopped by her channel in a bit. Let's go check her out, see what she's doing. Okay. We all need a little help at one point or another in our lives. Rest assured, help is on the way for you. There is a huge impouring of divine and angelic assistance coming to you now. Gosh darn it. That is so synchronistic that I said what I said before I started pulling out these cards last minute about particularly 11th house energy, even let's just go with Aquarius, because of Lilith being resistant and beaten down and vilified, like just feeling like I can just trust myself here, pulling back, becoming very sort of hermit-like. This is timely. This happened for Sagittarius. Their reading ended up being kind of very timely. Like whenever you're seeing this, and this is only the second time I think that Lilith has done this, where it feels like it is a timely message for you whenever you're getting it. I'm sorry, I slobber a lot with all the metal in my mouth. There is a huge, okay, yeah. This card appears for you today to let you know that your need for help has been acknowledged. Whether you have directly asked for aid or not, the universe is stepping forward on your behalf. This assistance can come in many forms. Sometimes it comes in the form of another person. We do not necessarily have to know them personally or for them to influence our lives. Through a series of divinely organized coincidences, a complete stranger can make their way into our personal world, providing the help we so greatly need. At other times, it may be our closest friends who lovingly step forward to assist us. However, we can also experience a sudden shift in circumstances, which occurs for no logical reason. This can happen to certain individuals who we may be having difficulty with. Either something energetically shifts in them, or we suddenly understand how we are to deal with that person. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to, because I don't want to keep repeating everything I said at the beginning, but I hope you're pulling this together. No matter how it happens, it is spirit working in your life. So let this be a fair warning. Help is coming. So don't do something silly, such as say no, thank you, when help is offered to you. Do not let feelings of not being worthy or deserving to get in the way. Do not allow your pride or need to be the giver interfere with this divine offering of assistance. You most certainly deserve it. Allow yourself to receive it. Just smile and say thank you. Just as this assistance comes to you, sometime soon Spirit will call on you to provide a loving hand of help to someone else. That's so nice. Oh, I like that. Wow, this is unusual. This is like a warm fuzzy. That's nice. That's a nice energy. Lilith is a pretty hard ass often in these readings. She wasn't with Cancer. That was a really hard one. And she was a big softie in there. She's you know what? She wants you to release a little bit. She wants you to release a little bit of the control, just a little bit of maybe not trusting people. So, something here. Something's coming in. This does feel timely. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out tarot cards, see where it goes with that. I've already pre-shuffled this because it takes me a bit. Such a big deck. I split it into like 3 sections and then put it all together again. Okay, Lilith. Lilith in Aquarius. Lilith in 4th house. 2 more. Sorry if you had earbuds in. I never think about these things until I do them. It tends to be my Aries Gemini. Okay, 4. I'm hearing 4. 1, 2, 3. Wow, this energy is intense. 4. What's coming in to help you is big. This is big. This is big energy. Wow. No wonder this is so timely. Princess of Cups. So cute. Aw. She's kind of cute. Yeah, she's kind of cute. I like her. I don't know what that's at the bottom for. Maybe the offer first comes to you in something very sweet and innocent. But it's not. It's coming from something very powerful. Okay, you want to see what you got here? Look at this. You have the Strength card. You have the Hierophant. You have the Emperor. And then you have, the 7 of Pentacles. Success unfulfilled. Do you see what I mean? Like, this is really, really strong energy here. If anything or anyone could help you with something, this energy is it. There's something here either that you're trying to work through in life and you're not getting the right piece to the puzzle, or the right path isn't opening up for you. You haven't been able to figure out the problem. And I don't even know too, like if this energy is also in that situation, it's kind of like two people perhaps having an answer to something, but you don't realize it. Do you ever, if you've been trying to find an answer to something, let's just say, I don't know what an example to give right off the bat. You've asked a few people that you know and this and that, and then you could kind of run into a stranger or meet someone at a group setting, and you may not know them very well, and you would never think to ask this person or that person or this person, because you don't really know them, about something that you're trying to figure out. And then one of your like friends, someone that you are close with, who knows you've been trying to figure, hey, Sally, did you ever figure out the answer to that? No, I have no idea. And then this person that you don't even know is standing and says, oh, I'm the one that invented that. What do you need to know? Like, what? Like, it's just almost like that, because this person has some sort of big, influential, established energy. It's big. It is very big, but it's coming in like a gentle wave. It's really like a very gentle wave, but it's about finding a solution to something, assistance, gifted. There might be something that you have that is a solution to something, and it's big. This energy, I would almost describe it as immovable. I would describe this as like the president of a corporation, or like the Pope. No, like you got the Strength card, the Hierophant, and the Emperor, or someone running a small country. Like, this is really big energy. I'm going to pull out clarifiers. Lilith has surprised me a little bit. Like, well, this timely one, yes. The other timely one for Sagittarius was also almost like a bit like a personal reading. As opposed to talking to you on a more vast scale about your placement, it's as if like something right now, it's important to you. And I kind of think it's interesting that it's taken me such a long time to get through all of these Lilith readings, because they are really tiring. There's a lot that goes in. Like, I spend quite a bit of time researching it, and it is a harder energy to pull in. And then here we sit right at the time where you need to hear something. I'm also really proud of myself as an Aries for continuing to do this. Yeah. Okay. So the Strength card. God, that's a lot. I'm hearing not to say anything until it's all pulled out. Wow, you got the Strength card again. Well, I did say something, didn't I? Okay, you're going to need to separate these. We're all going to have that much to clarify. You got the Strength card, the Page of Wands, Judgment, and the Ten of Swords. The Hierophant. Ten of Wands, the Chariot. This is interesting, because with the Hierophant here, and we're talking about like your placement, it's not really fitting in the group, being kind of the oddball. It didn't come out specifically like with authority and authority figures, but I could kind of see how that could kind of be melted into the whole concept of group here. Like, there's a burden here about something to do with authority, something to do with the commitments that we have to community. A heavy burden. And do you go this way or do you go that way? Helping to make a choice, helping to navigate you on the right path. The Emperor. Oh, that's uncanny. They're both holding this Wow, they're both holding something in their hand. Okay. Anyways, the Emperor, you have the Two of Wands and the King of Swords. Pretty clear information. That's a bit intimidating. The Emperor and the King of Swords. I would almost describe it as somebody who's the chief surgeon at some hospital or something. Like, it's somebody who's made their way in a very significant way, probably very highly educated. This person would definitely have answers. King of Swords is also Aquarian energy. Okay, let's keep going. I want us to look at this all in a whole here. Okay, we're looking at this Seven of Pentacles. Is at the end. Ace of Swords, the Fool, and the Queen of Cups. Oh, this is nice. I'm telling you, this is good. But it's like having... It's that aspect. It's so funny. Everything that I read and all of this, all that time I took, the most significant thing out of everything was what I didn't write down and last minute remembered to say before I went into the cards. Because it's sitting here. That's what Lilith wants to talk to you about. The one thing that I didn't write down. Which is this sign placement, Aquarius and Lilith and Aquarius, 11th house, may have difficulty trusting the path that the universe is trying to guide you on. Because of past betrayals, because of backstabbing, because of jealousy, all that sort of stuff. It plays a big part here. And then the intellectual part that gets involved with it, saying, no, I'm not going to be a fool again. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to, no. You know, I think that can also play out in terms of not letting go of certain situations and relationships, but also not letting go of your own like stronghold on trying to have control over your destiny. Because you don't know everything. You're still living your life. So it's important to release that control. And you are coming to sort of like a precipice here. So you've got, with the Strength card, you've got the Strength card again. The Page of Wands, Judgment, and the Ten of Swords. You know, this is where I see the stronghold. Look at this, like trying to force... This first card, she's forcing the lion's mouth. I don't know, open or closed, but it's forceful. This card here is not for... It's almost like rubbing the lion's chin. Like a gentle hand. Having more of a gentle hand. Having more of a gentle perspective on the path that you're about to go on. I'm telling you because you're going on a path. Look at, you've got the Page of Wands and the Judgment card. Both of these are depicted about like on a path. The Page of Wands is about to enter the path, and the Judgment card is on the path, going, this is a brand new day. I'm bringing a different perspective here. The Ten of Swords, though. But you see, that's what I feel like is the fear. Is if you release yourself to the universe and just let the universe take you wherever it wants to take you that day, or next week, or 2 weeks from now, whatever it is for you. I feel like it's fairly soon. It does feel like a timely reading, this one. Is not to get too caught up on past defeats, on past hurts, on past situations where you felt betrayed and backstabbed. Don't force the lion's mouth. Don't force anything in a situation. Just explore it. Because you are coming to a crossroads. With the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and the Chariot, you're coming to a crossroads, and it's very significant because in one direction is a heavy burden. It's heavy. It's carrying more than you're really meant to be carrying at this point. Release yourself from this. Maybe, you know, like with the Hierophant, maybe you've had some sort of, because with the 11th house, it could have to do like too with some of these bigger, broader community-based things, like in a societal way, in a humanitarian way. It could have something to do with institutions, signed contracts too, like, again, because just talking about not wanting to feel trapped, like the Hierophant can be an energy that can make you feel kind of trapped, depending on what it represents. Trying to walk away from that. Like the universe doesn't want you Lilith doesn't want you. The Lilith within you doesn't want you to carry these burdens that are heavier than what you're meant to be carrying. You're moving into a period of time here where you're not meant to fight something. You're meant to flow. You're really meant to flow. The Emperor with the Two of Wands and the King of Swords. Oh, yeah. So what I wanted to show you is look at the Emperor. He's holding this globe. Well, I don't, there's probably a proper name for that, and I don't know what it is. And it's got like a cross on it. He's holding it in his hand. You see that? He's holding it in his hand, and he's made, like, the Emperor has made it. The Emperor has made it. The Emperor has found his or her success. The Emperor is at the top of their game. There's really nowhere higher for this individual to go. At least in their hopes and dreams for themselves, they've reached it. Now, see, look at the Two of Wands. Oh my gosh. The Two of Wands. You see how he's holding the globe? That's so interesting because these are both Aries energy. The Emperor and the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is a master of your own domain. So it's where you get to a point. I'm actually feeling like this is you. If this is, and I feel like you're the Two of Wands and you're about to take a path, it's going to create, you are going to find yourself as the Emperor on it. But you have to allow yourself to find the path that's meant for you. Because the Two of Wands is having the idea, having a hope for something beyond yourself and getting ready to look out into the world for it. It's almost like the first step in manifestation. And then the final step is the Emperor. Like, here you are, you've done it, you've made it, you've created it, you've hit that epitome, you know, you've hit the top of the mountain. So then the King of Swords is sitting here. This is like almost like telling you, like, reaching the real true point of success in an energy, in an environment, in situations that do feel good for you, because it's Aquarius energy. And that's what we're talking about in here. I want to say too, looking at all of this, like, if this represents how strong of character you are as well, it is probably hard for the universe to get you off of a path once you've decided. Oh, see, look at, okay, see, when she's using two hands to hold the lion's mouth, she has no other hands to utilize. Well, obviously, right? She's not Ganesh. So, but then when she's using the one hand, just, you know, just rub the kitty's chin. Just rub the kitty's chin. That's all you need to do to tame the wild beast. That's all you need to do to maintain this level of self-control. Just keep it easy. Just don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overpush it. And then it allows you to use this other hand to control chaos around you. You can't control, if you are so focused on like controlling yourself, you're not allowing yourself to flow. And because of that, you're not allowing yourself to manifest. You're just so completely focused. All of your energy is going into self-control. Controlling your situation, controlling your path. You're going to be a better manifester if you can allow yourself some freedom. Allow yourself some freedom. But with this comes just kind of seeing where the road goes each day. Now, this is interesting. So this is kind of where it leads us. Success unfulfilled. So don't take that like the wrong way as we get to the end of this. What I see it is, because the Seven of Pentacles is this, yes, acknowledging that the plan, the idea, or how you're executing your plan is no longer working. I don't want to say it's not working at all, because it's getting you somewhere. But everything that we do in life, we always need to kind of like reassess. Okay, so how has a situation changed? How have I changed? What are the new expectations? What are my expectations? How do I utilize that and make a plan to move forward? That's where it takes you. So this is like literally, it feels like getting ready for a new path. And it's beautiful. You've got The Ace of Swords, so now you really have the clarity. Like you're about to get a clarity. You're about to get clarity in something for yourself. The Fool, there's Aquarius energy. That Aquarius energy. Starting fresh, ready to go. So I feel so immature with that card. It doesn't look like a broom handle. Anyways, and then the Queen of Cups. Like on a new path here that's about like emotional. I'm hearing emotional fulfillment. Like it's not the Ten of Cups, but it's at least emotional fulfillment within yourself here. And allowing yourself to flow in a beautiful emotional way. And to have success emotionally and in relationships. Allow the universe to assist you right now. What is this gifted? I want to get a little bit about that. It might be a gift that you're about to open up, like a talent and ability that you didn't really know that you had, or really strengthening one that you already have. Gifted. I'm also hearing you are the gift. So I don't know, that's kind of beautiful too, isn't it? That's nice. You are the gift. Gifted. Gifted. Oh, look. 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. Look at how you're gifted. Like, you can turn conflict, disagreements, you can change, and confusion, lack of choice, lack of understanding, and you can turn that into something holistic, something that comes together again. You can bring things together. You're gifted to bring energies together that could not be cohesive in the past or before, or like when I say the past, maybe in the history of mankind, I don't know, or in your neighborhood, or your family, or your friends. You are the cohesion, because it's almost like your strangeness gives people reason to celebrate. Don't take offense to that. I think strangeness is good, so don't. Here I am on YouTube, like having a career reading tarot, Lilith and Aquarius. I'm all with the strangeness. It's okay. Assistance. Assistance? Oh, see, now it is going to go somewhere. Oh, that's nice. The 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. Oh, you know what I like about this card? This card to me feels like what you would be happy. Like a happy relationship for you. Like to have community, to have connection, and then to have your own time. That's what we talked about a lot in this. So you're getting assistance. The universe wants to assist, to take you towards what makes you happy. What is really meant for you? Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like. That's what would make you happy. Like, yes, to have connection, to have someone who understood you, to have perhaps a family, to have some sort of emotional connection with another person or other people that is very fulfilling, but yet still on your own, having like the time you need to meditate, the time that you need to feel grounded again, the time that you need to just feel free and then open up. I don't know, it's almost like she's just feeling the breeze on her face and looking up at the blue sky. I like that. And I like that it feels like you're coming close to this. The Princess of Cups. I feel like this is how the universe lures you in. Whatever this is going to be for you moving forward, it's something pretty significant. And I do want to say as well that it might be something that you're cautious of at first. Because I can see the Hierophant with this placement being like, well, yeah, I don't know. That's the old energy, right? Like that's the very earth. What is it that Russell from Rustling Around was the earth epoch energy that we've been through for so long, where everything is very grounded, everything is very, it's got to be this way, it has to stay that way, we can't change it. Where Aquarius energy is, no, let the universe come in and let's explore all the different possibilities and let things be as they are or want to be. So yeah, this would be kind of heavy for you. But Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups. Page of Cups, so it's kind of the same. So you got the Page of Cups twice. The 3 of Swords, the 5 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. Look at that. I feel like you have to be gently lured because things have really broken your heart in the past. People have shown themselves to betray you, to compete with you, to be jealous of you, the Five of Wands. And then the Two of Swords, it really leaves you in indecision, like not really knowing who you can trust or what direction you can move into. The universe understands to guide you carefully here. Yeah. So nothing's going to be like, this is not an earth-shattering thing at first. This is gently easing onto a path that the universe wants to guide you on. You just get gently eased onto this path and don't you worry a little thing about it. And you got the Four of Cups at the bottom. See, I think the universe is almost trying to tell you, like, you're missing some things here. Again, not to be that that hermit deep in the woods, completely isolated from humanity. I mean, unless that's what you really, really want. But you're missing connections that can give you, you know, like what I'm seeing here. Like having happiness, having... I mean, come on, the hermit in the woods is going to see a beautiful sunset and not think to themselves, oh, it'd be nice to share this with someone. I wonder what someone else would think of the pink and the orange melting together in the sky. But still have that personal, emotional freedom. Emotional freedom. Well, there you go. That was really different. Of course, this is a different placement. So, thank you so much, Lilith in Aquarius and Lilith in the 11th house. I'm going to go do the extended, okay? Don't usually get this, but I'm already being drawn to the Moonology deck and the Divine Animal Oracle deck. So that's different. I don't know what else will come out in that. As I say, I leave them pretty open. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.